Yeah, now I moved it. I was doing something. This is the 360 show. Welcome. Today we'll be discussing all things happening around the cricketing world as Rabada goes past 300 test wickets. What a phenomenal achievement by him. Also, the White Ferns came out on top against the Proteas Women side in that World Cup T20 final. Unfortunately, the ladies missing out there, but well done to New Zealand's women's team. The Blackcaps beat India for the first time in a very, very long time over there in India at the Chinnaswamy Stadium. It was a crazy test match to say the least. We will be covering a bit of that as well. Also, Gill available for selection, and Kane Williamson will be missing out once again as he's struggling with that groin injury. Pakistan and England 1-1. It's all to play for at Rawalpindi and also IPL. We cover the next three teams and we'll also talk about retentions. This is the 360 show. Let's go. "360 View", 360 seconds to cover the six main cricketing topics, and we start off with Rabada, my good friend, reaching 300 test wickets in the fastest time ever, or the fewest amount of balls, 8,817 balls. From the very first time I saw this youngster bowl, I was impressed. I was especially impressed by the competitive edge, his demeanour, his presence at the wicket while bowling, and he has absolutely demolished that record, beating the likes of Wakar Yunus, Dale Steyn, Alan Donald, Malcolm Marshall. Guys, it's quite an achievement, and you got to give it to Kagiso. He's still young. He's got a lot of cricket left in him, and I'm very excited to see where he's going to go with this. 300 test wickets. Congrats, KG. All of us are very, very proud of you. And he said there that he wasn't really thinking about it. As he walked out, all he was focusing on is trying to get South Africa in a good position in that test match, which he obviously achieved. But it just once again shows you his mindset of playing for the team, having an impact on the team. And also we got the likes of Dale Steyn commenting about KG's amazing record and saying that his stamp in history is marked. Very kind words of Dale Steyn there from him. Also, Abhishek saying there the fact that no other bowler in Test cricket history has taken even 120 wickets with a strike rate under 40 just shows you the incredible achievement from Kagiso Rabada. I'm very impressed. I'm very happy for him, very proud, and I cannot wait to see what the future holds. Moving on then to the White Ferns winning that T20 Women's World Cup against South Africa. My beloved South African women's cricket team. I really tipped them to win that one, but they're definitely heading in the right direction, guys. Obviously qualifying for the final last year as well. The men's team also reached the final, and then the women's team this year once again. So especially in the T20 World Cup, or the T20 format at least, South Africa heading in the right direction, reaching a lot of finals. Yes, they haven't lifted that trophy yet, but I've no doubt it's coming soon. As Laura Volfard was quoted saying, there's a lot of positives to reflect on. They're a young group, and it looks promising for the future. And she cannot wait for the next few World Cups coming up, as that team will gain more experience as they move forward. But congratulations to the New Zealand women's team. They are very, very happy and deserved winners of that T20 World Cup. The Blackcaps beat India for the first time in 36 years in India. That was at the Chinnaswamy Stadium. And Rachin Ravindra, his parents hail from Bangalore, and Sachin Tendulkar was quoted saying that cricket as a way of connecting us to our roots, as Rachin Ravindra seems to have a special connection with Bengaluru, and that's where his family hails from. Also, Sarfaraz Khan, what an occasion to score your first test century. That was a post that Sachin Tendulkar made on X. Really, it's saying it's exciting times for these two cricketers, two youngsters. Rachin Ravindra with that special connection with India, and also Sarfaraz Khan, that youngster putting up his hand in the test format saying, I am here to stay. But New Zealand winning that first test match at the Chinnaswamy, I've got to give credit to India for the way they fought back. When you get knocked over 40 odd in the first innings, it's really tough to bounce back from there. It's incredible that they actually achieved the fact that they made New Zealand bat again, and people even talking about them possibly rolling New Zealand in that final innings. There were signs of it as Bumrah started off with a bang, but unfortunately lost the lacquer of that new ball. It stopped swinging, stopped moving around, and the inform Ravindra made light work of that. Also mentioned to Young for the way he played, very solid up front as an opening batsman. A bit of a quick word about Rohit Sharma getting into that press conference after that first innings saying, Chalo Talwar, Talvar, I think, get your knives out is the meaning. And yes, I mean, he felt obviously horrible about his decision to bat first. He read it wrong. He took ownership, and I've got to give credit to Rohit for that. And us cricketers are always a bit wary of the media. So Rohit, a bit of tongue in the cheek there, I think, sort of telling the media, have fun now, guys. Here I am. We got knocked over for 40 odd. Fire away and go write what you want. But there's nothing that I can do to change the situation right now. I made a mistake, and onwards and upwards, hopefully for him and his Indian cricket team. Moving on then, also on the same trend, Gill returns. Shubman Gill is available. Who will be dropped, Sarfraz Khan or KL Rahul? Now, Sarfraz obviously scoring a big 100 in that comeback for India in that second innings. It's got to look like it's possibly KL Rahul. Maybe Shubman sits out another one, even though he's ready. Maybe the guys will feel he's a bit undercooked and they will still stick with KL. I'm not sure. It's up to the selectors. It's a good headache to have. It's three class players, but one's got to sit out, and then I can't see that it will be Sarfraz Khan. So it's probably between Rahul or Shubman. Let's see what they get up to there. Also, Pune will be most probably be a slow wicket. I think the staff they will make sure that it suits the Indian team best possible. So that they can really elevate their strengths and find a way to get back into this Test series. It's a must-win for them. Moving on then, also Pakistan and England 1-1 as they move to Rawalpindi. Two incredible Test matches there, as we saw Sajid Khan and Noman Ali taking all the wickets in this last Test match, and with no surprise, Pakistan doing the utmost best to replicate the similar kind of conditions for the final Test match. And last but not least, we will be discussing this in length, but Heinrich Klaasen possibly be going for 23 crores as Pat Cummins steps down and takes a bit of a pay cut. That's reports, it's not facts, but it seems likely. And that for you, ladies and gentlemen, is the 360 view. I hope you enjoyed that. IPL 2025, the auction and retentions is the topic for this section, guys. We will be covering the bottom three teams that finished last year, which is Punjab Kings, Gujarat Titans, and Mumbai Indians. Obviously, these teams have a lot to think about with regards to retentions. Do they go for a brand new look in their team? Do they retain some of the players? Do they retain the main core? What exactly do they do? Let's kick it off with Gujarat Titans. Shubman Gill's Gujarat Titans. With regards to Gujarat Titans, I can't see them letting go of two main players, Shubman Gill and Rashid Khan. They've been around for a while in the Gujarat Titans setup, and they are star performance, and they've performed fairly well in that last season. I think both coming down a touch since their glory when they lifted the trophy, but still they are star performance, and we all know that they're capable of winning a lot of cricket games for this team. Remember Dan Weston giving us a lot of information on this, and I'd like to thank him. He says to consider guys to retain possibly Sajid Hassan, Mohammad Shami, David Miller, Shah Rukh Khan as an uncapped player, possibly. Once again, as I said, there are no certainties with regards to these names, guys. It must be tempting for the owners and the selectors to let go of one or two of the players, open up a pool to go and have a bit of fun in the auction. And then, according to Dan Weston, likely retentions, Rashid, Gill, Shami, and Tavatia as an uncapped, which seems like a nice little call that, because it will open up some funds to spend in the auction. But that means no David Miller, which will be interesting. He has been around with the Gujarat Titans from the start. They're a great guy to have in your room or in your team. I don't know if Gujarat will retain him, but let's see what happens with regards to that. They have some decisions to make, but even harder in the Punjab Kings team. I can't see a lot of retentions here, guys, as Ricky Ponting steps up as the head coach, and very tough decisions to be made here. Ricky Ponting as coach, I've always really enjoyed his knowledge about the game. I've always had a lot of respect for him. Playing against him or against Australia with him as captain, it was always tough. He always had a really good read on the game, but he hasn't had a lot of success of late in the IPL as coach. obviously with the Delhi Capitals and now moving to Punjab Kings. Might just see a big Australian flavour come into this team, guys. And yes, must retain possibly Sam Curran, Arshdeep Singh. As we know, Shikhar Dhawan stepping down and retiring from cricket, so he's out. And then also to consider Johnny Bairstow, Chris Wokes, Ellis, Rousseau, Rabada, Jitesh, Shashank. Very difficult picks. I would probably keep a hold of Kagiso Rabada, Sam Curran, Arshdeep. That's what I would do. But according to Dan Weston, Sam Curran, Arshdeep, Livingston, Ashutosh, uncapped player, Prab Simran, also uncapped. Interesting take there from Dan Weston. I can't see them letting go of Rabada personally. For me, he's a stalwart. We know in Test cricket, he just passed 300 Test wickets. Lots of decisions to be made here, and Ricky Ponting gets the opportunity to start fresh, I would say. And I'm expecting them to make a lot of changes and not to retain a lot of players. I'm expecting 3 actually at most. So we'll see what he gets up to there. And then also a team that you guys have guessed at, Mumbai Indians, a team that I really like to follow. Yes, they have a new coach in Mahela Jai Warner. Will Hardik captain again? Who knows what's going to happen here, guys? No one knows. But must retains Jasprit Bumrah, Sky, Tilak Varma, and Hardik. I think those 4 players need to be in the setup. As I've spoken about it before, I talk about the furniture of a franchise or as a team, and I feel those 4 players is like the furniture, and they've got to stay there. Will Rohit be retained? Devil Brevis, Gerald Coetzee, Kishan, Wadhera, and Nabi, according to Dan Weston. He reckons likely retentions will be Bumrah, Pandya, Sky, Tilak, and Kishan. So we'll see if that comes true. No Devil Brevis then. Also no Gerald Coetzee, and no Rohit there for him. So very interesting take from Dan Weston. At the end of the day, they finish close to the bottom of the log, and there will be some tough decisions to be made, and maybe they will get hold of some new players and some fresh blood in this IPL. That too is all the IPL retentions and all the news about it, my take on it, and we'll see what the guys get up to. Let me know what you think in the descriptions box as well with regards to retentions, and obviously we will be covering the Royal Challengers Bangalore very, very soon, guys. That's the last team. I've left it as the only team that I will analyze, and that will be coming soon. So keep an eye out for that. I love this. This week on AB React, we cover some of the headlines around the cricketing world. Some quotes as we start with Colin Munro saying that he spoke to Rishabh Pant not so long ago, and you remember Rishabh saying that he finds the test format easier because of the nature of not having to look to score. You're always looking to score runs, but if somebody bowls well for a couple of overs, you can just sit back and absorb. And I can definitely relate with that. I know the anxiety, that feel of anxiety in T20 cricket of, I face 2 dot balls, what now? I've got to go, I've got to score a boundary. And that's a terrible feeling. But there's no ways that I will agree with the fact that Test cricket is easier, maybe at times. I think it's actually a great mix. And once again, comes back to the point of the healthy state that cricket is in, and there's space for all 3 of the formats. And it shows you how different these formats are. But I can tell him and I can warn him that when you start traveling a lot to South Africa, England, Australia, New Zealand, when you jump around different countries, it is not easy to keep that kind of rhythm. It can get very tough if you get 2 or 3 good deliveries back-to-back innings. The test format can very quickly become a big dark hole. Trust me, I can talk from experience. But hopefully Rishabh won't experience that, and he'll keep that fantastic form in the test format that we've seen. I love watching him play, especially in the test matches where he's got this gear of jumping from the 2nd to the 5th in no time, and all of a sudden you see the fielders just running all over the park. So great to watch him play, and he's definitely got that grit between his teeth with regards to the test format, where he's a really tough character to beat out there. He's competitive. He never says die. He's always got that fight in him. So it's great to watch him play, and long may that form continue. Moving on to Danny Shade saying there's been speculation about Virat being the only retained player for RCB, and we'll cover more about this as we'll talk about the entire team, game plans with regards to the retentions and this coming auction. But some People saying out there that Virat will be the only player retained, and Danish saying, stop spreading fake news, people. Mr. Nags is also a sure shot retention. Always tongue in the cheek there and funny from Danish. I always love spending time with that guy at the RCB camp. And then last but not least, on AB Reacts, the ICC's cricket committee making some suggestions. And listen to this, guys. This is fresh. It's a hot topic. Very interesting. Minimum of 3 test matches in a series in the World Test Championship. They also encourage more day-night test matches, and I love that. I feel there is room for more entertainment, more people coming to watch, more fans at the games, where we need to get this test format running riot and really moving forward at a rapid pace. And I think day-night test cricket is a great addition to that, where the ball seems to move around a touch more. You'll have more crowds in there, a louder environment out there for the players, and we might just see more magical moments. And that's what we want. And then last but not least, in the ODI format, 2 new balls to be used for the first 25 overs in ODI matches. Interesting take there. And we'll see how much of this comes true, as they will be taking this to the ICC, and we'll see if the ICC will adopt this moving into the future. All right, from the Comms Box, guys, first and foremost, I would like to thank all of you for the love I've received for being inducted into the Hall of Fame. I've had a lot of comments left, right, and center. I've had someone writing me a poem, and I did reply to that. Thank you very much. I'll read a couple of lines. In the realm of cricket, you reign supreme. AB de Villiers fulfilling every fan's dream. And it goes on. You guys can go have a look at that. I did reply to that. Thank you very much for the kind words. I'm a bit of a poet myself. I love beautiful words, you're right. I like to get philosophical at times. And then Immortal XD 6190 saying, loved hearing you speak the phrases in different languages and encouraging me to do more of those. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Also, we want a podcast of Messi and AB. We'll see if we can manage to do that, guys. Lionel Messi, we're just aiming at the best football player of all time. No worries. I'll try and get a hold of him in the near future. Who knows? You got to dream big, right? Sanju Samson bats with a kind of elegance that feels like poetry in motion. That's exactly what I said. Incredible talent shines through in every stroke as he seems a craft masterpiece with his batting hand. India has found a gem of a kind, and I fully agree with that, guys. I want to see more of this man on the park. I love watching him play, similar to Rishabh Pant, who's just a left-handed version. Those are my 2 favorite players right now as youngsters, but there are so many great Indian batters coming up, and they have so much depth in the batting department, and it's great to see, largely due to the IPL, right? IPL's giving them this exposure. Young players from India getting the kind of exposure that only a youngster can dream of. It's the best cricket in the world, very high quality, all the best players in the world playing in the same tournament. So big credit to the IPL. Alrighty, and then last but not least, on the Comms Box, I know some of you commented on the Cameo app I spoke about. This is a app that you can download on the App Store or Android, wherever you go. It's called Cameo, Cameo, and all it's about is me sending video messages, happy birthday messages, congratulatory messages for getting your degree or getting a new job, whatever the case may be, guys. It's very personal. I try and make it valuable for the person purchasing this video from me. And hopefully you guys will get on there, because all the funds raised from this and every single cent goes into my charity foundation, my foundation trust, which is used for educational purposes. I try and get young kids through school with that. So every cent goes for a good cause. So please support me on that Cameo app. You can find it on the App Store. I'll also post about it on Instagram and X from time to time. That's all from the Comms Box. Let's move to the 360 quiz then, as we got a winner last week, Sheikh Salim. Congratulations, as we played with my home language, my mother tongue, which is Afrikaans. And I said there, I taught you a phrase in Afrikaans, my language, as I learned from the phrases from shared in yours. What was the phrase and its meaning? My hart klop vir jou. And the meaning was, my heart beats for you. So congratulations, Sheikh Salim, for winning that one. And this week's 360 quiz, whose impressive record did Rabada beat as he picked up his milestone 300th test wicket this week? All the very best with that question, guys, as you see a picture of myself and KG, as I really loved captaining that guy, because he was an open-minded kind of guy who would always take up new ideas and obviously execute to perfection. Thank you very much for joining me on this week's 360 show. Subscribe to the channel, follow me in socials, and I will be seeing you on 360 Live this coming weekend. Have a fantastic week. And remember, my heart klop vir jou.